Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go over the matches that I just had for the round 2 of the TEPPEN Ambassador Invitational Tournament, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I started off with a, based on the decks, because we get to see each other's decks, he banned my Morgan, which everybody knows is my best deck. So everybody's banning it, not letting me play it. I banned his deck, that was Dante, because I know how Chop is, and based on his other decks, I didn't really want to have to deal with any kind of RNG and get beat by just having a bad hand or not being able to deal with it. Mostly because my only deck that I can deal with that is Ryu, and I didn't really want to spend my Ryu deck to deal with his, just to take out his Dante deck. I wanted my Ryu deck to be able to take out his, either his Wrath deck or his, I specifically, I actually made Dante and Ryu were the 2 decks I would recommend for myself to take on Wrath. And then Wesker was the second. So I was like, I feel like I had the hunch that he might play Wrath first. And the catch with that is based on his Wrath deck, he actually doesn't use a lot of mana ramp. So I'm not going to tell you what's in his deck, but you can see he doesn't use a lot of mana ramp in his deck. It's more about charge and buffs. So what I did is I focused more on, okay, I'm just going to try to do card removal rather than just trying to remove card removal with my big cards, right? Like Obliteration and things like that. So we'll go. That's why I decided to choose Wesker on the first deck. I figured Wesker is probably going to be my safest bet, because Wesker's going to beat. It has a 50-50, I guess, depending on what the hand I get, which really wasn't very good. But I lucked out with what he got as well. We both kind of had funky hands, which is why it came down to the wire at the end. And I ended up possibly making a bad mistake. I don't know, but I got spooked, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I got spooked. Anyway, so there was Wesker. Wesker can beat his Ryu. My Ryu can beat his Ryu. Obviously, my Dante is spooked by Wesker. Dante, I think, is pretty good against Wrath, just because if he flies above me, it's okay. He can fly above me. It doesn't affect me, as long as I can get my my unit under him when I have the stealth, though. So we actually never interact. So it's fantastic. It's really good. So I'll go ahead and we're going to detail the first game I had here. Show you guys here. Hell yeah, I love this song. This song is so good. But yeah, Ryu did some work for me today, man. Ryu put the work in. Shout out to Team Genji for just being my team captain. The game started awkward, weird, right? I don't know if he started off with 5. I'm not sure how that worked. So I made so he started with the mana ramp. I made a very, very ballsy decision here. As soon as so here's my thinking, right? So let me restart this match. So I'll restart this match. So what happened here is I don't really have cards that are going to allow me to do much, right? I need to pull like a low-cost card that can drop on the field to defend, something of the sort, right? So at the beginning, what would have actually been optimal because of what he played right away is if I had a Tyrant. If I had a Tyrant, boom, 4 cost damage, 4 cost, he loses 7 costs in units. That's a fantastic move. Great move, right? But I didn't pull a Tyrant because he drops... Okay, yeah, see, now the game's just being stupid. So, because obviously he didn't save up that much. So we're going to have to end it and redo it again. This is stupid. I hate the replays in this thing sometimes. When you go to back up the replay, it acts all funky. So we're gonna redo this. Or I guess we're gonna get some more hype music.
I'll give you 5 minutes.
Yeah, give me that crazy chili dog. Crazy chili dog. For those who don't know, that's what this song is called. So, if you guys are new to the stream, make sure you hit the follow button. Yeah, backup is stupid. It doesn't even tell you what it is. So he plays the lair. So here's my thinking, right? In this situation, I'm like, okay, he plays the lair. Is he gonna buff the lair? What is he gonna do, right? So what I want, optimally for this situation, what I want to do is when he plays that lair, I want to play a false throne, and then I want to play the spikes, right? That's what I want to do because I want to remove the card, right? So like if I play false throne, he might, and I want to play it right after he plays lair. He might take the bait with his free mana, drop a buff, and then I hit him with the spikes, the murder spikes. So that way, I basically, for 1 mana, I get to remove his card, and so he is like way behind in mana. in comparison to me. So I didn't have that option. However, I pulled a sample collection, the only one I have in my deck. I have one for weird situations, and this is one of the ones where it popped up and ended up being weird. So I ended up, as soon as he plays Victor here, boom, plays Victor, I instantly drop the sample collection. I don't care which one it hits, but in all honesty, it hits the one I want it to hit. In all honesty here, it hits the exact one I want it to hit. So, because I know he's probably going to buff this guy, right? Because this guy's nice. He's nice and buffable, and I'm like, okay, he's got this one here, and I knew based on the deck that he has, he doesn't have any other one-cost buffs. So I'm like, okay, as long as he buffs, that's the key goal. If he doesn't buff, this is going to suck bad if he does not buff here. So I had to take the risk. I had to take the risk, and he took the and it paid off. So he does that. He goes ahead and buffs. So he buffs there, and so I'm able to destroy him with the spikes. I don't know why it's going so slow. There we go. And I'm able to take him out with the spikes, and then boom. So he loses both cards. So now technically, I have 2 mana at this point. He's actually at 1. So he's 1 mana less than me. So this is also where I had to make a very crucial decision. It's obvious, but it's also weird, right? Like, it's also strange, but it should be pretty obvious why I did that, right? So he drops this card. Optimally, I want him to drop another card, or I want to drop the Tyrant in front of him. Unfortunately, the game does not grace me with that option. I try to drop the Tyrant at the last second to make sure I don't lose this Tyrant for no reason, right? And so I'm able to get my big boy down there, right? So that's what I was hoping for. So now these guys are able to trade. This is actually where it got kind of scary, and I actually got a little bit lucky here. I will admit, I top decked this right now. I did top deck a win, a survival here, because he gets a shield down, and I'm like, oh, fantastic, a shield. So I'm like, okay. So, and then I pull a Joe. I'm like, okay, great. I pulled a Joe. All right, that's the last card I want to pull. So I already know what card's going to go on the field. At least it goes in the middle, which is great. That's fantastic. That's what I needed. And then he drops that. So right now, I'm actually sitting here waiting. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, I'm just going to drop it. I'm going to pull a Joe. I'm going to drop a Joe on the field. That's what I'm going to do. And here, I decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Right? I don't know if he just didn't have a buff. Maybe he didn't have a buff there. That's all I can figure. No, he has one in his hand, so he should have used it. I don't know why he didn't. He pulls another one. He has another one. So I'm like, okay, I can survive if I eat my guy. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. He's going to have another one. And or he's going to have to buff. I'm like, and then at this point I realized, I'm like, oh my god, he has a buff in his EX pocket. But I luckily pulled Obliteration. That saved my life so much. But then, problem. I have Ouroboros, but I don't know what's going to pop out from it, right? So I'm like, okay, I need to get a Joe on the field. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to play the False Throne. I wish I would have played it a tiny bit sooner, but it's okay. I wait. I know that card costs 3. I wait. I'm hoping he drops another card by then, right? That's what I'm hoping. He doesn't. And it sucks. I play that, or after I played the Tyrant, another Joe went in my hand. That was extremely unfortunate, by the way. So what I should have done here, what I really should have done, but I'm an idiot, is I should have played Tyrant in the top spot and then played Uro on the bottom when Chun-Li first comes in for the hit. That's what I should have done. So, and luckily he missed there. Otherwise, I might have had to have taken a hit there. So, but part of the reason why I was afraid of playing my Ouroboros in that situation is because when I used my False Throne, it actually ended up throwing a Tyrant into my graveyard, which means if I use oh, sorry, not Ouroboros. I'm stupid. I was just dumb in that. I should have used Ouroboros now that I think about it. Because I was thinking, oh great, if the Tyrant pops up, it's gonna die. I forgot, it's the highest HP unit. Sometimes I get Ouroboros mixed up, and I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be like Rebirth. I'm a dummy, actually. I apologize for being stupid, guys. So yes, I did top deck that, so that was really fortunate. So that saved my ass in that matchup. That was super scary. And that's just how a lot of these games go sometimes. So, this match was pretty straightforward. I was like, okay, if he sticks with Wrath, this is the deck I want to stick with. This is the deck I want to go with because I can avoid him. Crappy starting hand, by the way. Very bad, crappy starting hand. I wanted to wait to see what he was going to do, right? He plays Mikhail, that's fine. I'm like, I want to see what he's going to do. Perfect. Cool. He's got me open. I can play Ibuki right in the middle. I wait a minute. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to see if he plays anything. I decide, and he actually, I think, ended up, yeah, I was actually going to debuff him there. It's funny, I was actually going to debuff him there, and this actually worked out fantastic, because I played the debuff, and then he plays another buff, and then I I grabbed the cheaper halt, which is really good, and that's what I wanted. So he just goes ham on buffing, he just goes to town, right? So I'm like, okay, great, great. He's going to be stalled, he's not going to hit me anytime soon. This is fantastic, fantastic. So I'm like, I need to get Ada out there. So I play Ada because I really want that stealth, right? So stealth here is extremely important. Because what I want to do is in this matchup, by using this stealth card, it makes it so that way Ibuki's unblockable. So what happens is even if he plays a card in front of, Ibuki, and then uses Wrath Awoken, it doesn't matter. Because the Wrath, he'll just fly right, they'll fly over me and I will essentially go under them. So it's like we don't interact the entire time, which is why I also would normally use, in this situation, I would use, I would use a hook shot on the enemy. So that way I don't interact with them. So, I think at the very last second here, this is what I planned. I barely needed the mana. So I timed this right at the last second. The reason why is because I had 3 mana. And I'm like, I need to get to 3 so I can use the stealth ability to activate it, get the buff on Ibuki, right? And then also, if he decides to use a move, for one, he's out of mana. He's maxed out on mana, so he's not going to get that free mana like he wants, right? So that's good. And then it's going to allow me to use my Dark Hold if I so need to. So, luckily, it worked out in that situation. And the unfortunate part here is he did have an evasive action here, which is I would agree that's the smart move. I'm out of mana. Hey Sibiu. So, but he has to spend actual mana to get that off. It's not free, and I still get my ability, which is great because I know in his deck what he has. That's actually his only evasive action in the entire deck. So my deck's actually favored in this situation. So I'm never gonna run into him ever at any point. So I grab another stealth just in case I need it, because why not, right? And here, then this is what I was speaking of. He's gonna fly over me, and I have double trigger, so it doesn't matter. I activate double trigger, and now he can't hurt me, right? So now I can just go under him. I don't even need to buff. I don't have to do anything. He can't damage me, and I'm able to just keep flying under him. We never interact, ever. And if he was ever going to attempt to interact me, I flight him with the hook shot, and then we never interact. Or yeah. So that would be the optimal thing. That was the optimal thing to do. So, so because of his deck design struggles greatly against Dante, or anybody who's a big Rezo. So that's why I went for that next, because I was like, if he sticks with Wrath, Rezo's gonna murder him, and he stuck with Wrath, and I was like, great, worked out. And then the second game, last game here, I don't know what was in his hand. He might have had a bad hand. I'm honestly not sure.
Learn your play.
So I went with my boy Ryu in case he stuck with Wrath or switched to 4s. So I pulled... The thing against Wesker is you need to be aggressive, right? So no matter what against Wesker, you have to get damage out as fast as you can, especially with Ryu. Get some presence on the board because you need to. So I go ahead and I drop a guy here. It's a very cheap 3-cost, 2/5 charge unit. No matter what card he can possibly drop in front of it right now, it will die based on what I know he has in his deck, right? He doesn't have any cards in his deck that'll survive. His units that he could play at this instant. So I know at this point he's either going to be dropping a Tyrant, the T103, or he's going to be dropping a Devil Joe, right? So I hit again here. Perfect timing before he can get Devil Joe out. So I'm going, okay, he hasn't played anything. He's dropping Devil Joe. And the thing is, I think he's sitting, at this point, he must have been sitting on mana a little bit. And so that allows me to play this. Now, the big thing here is, I play that because I'm going to go, okay, if he has,
against a god.
because that was, you know what? This was kind of a funky choice here. I really didn't need to actually play. So he plays that, correct? So he plays that. I actually don't have to play that second spread shot. I don't actually need to do that because even if he does 5 damage to me, it leaves me with 2. It doesn't matter. What is he going to do 2 damage to me with? He doesn't have anything. So realistically, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, right? So I didn't actually need to do that. The first one would have been sufficient for free. It wouldn't make a difference, right? So, either way, Rathos is a massive threat to Wesker because he will not have any cards to deal with it. Even a Joe put in front of him will not kill him, and Joe will remove him from the board as soon as he hits the wall. So I end up picking up my other 2 guys, which is fantastic, and I just got to go pressure. Put him on the board, just go ham. I wait here for a second because I don't know what he's gonna do. I see that and I'm like, okay, that's perfectly fine. You have no mana. Once again, you're at 0 mana, so I'm okay with that. I have a Shinkarduken in the works, so it ends up working out for me there. So I know because he's at the same amount of mana at me, that means he's at 4, right? He's at 5. He's at 6. And so I always have this Ryu. So this Ryu is really powerful as well. So actually, right here in this instant, I could have potentially played my Ryu there and just gone for the win. Because what I could do is I could play Ryu, and then even if he plays like a Rebirth, it's fine. But I'm playing this. I'm taking the safe move, the safe route here. I take the safe route. He gets the Joe. Unfortunately, he gets it up top, which is actually fine. Does 3 damage. It's pretty good. So I know at this point. So this is the move I decided to make. I let him hit me here because I know, okay, he's got 3 health left. If he's gonna need to block this, right? Or he's gonna get screwed. Or he's gonna need to eat something. Maybe he didn't pull away to eat something. So I know here I can do 2 damage. So if he comes in and hits me, he's gonna do 4. I will come in on because we both have haste. He should hit me first. Where's Mocha? Mocha is sleeping in the corner. That when I drop my Ryu, he's gonna be down to 1. Ryu's ability is gonna activate, and it's gonna hit him for 3. So ultimately, realistically, I want him to actually block here. That's actually what I want. So when he doesn't, and I'm able to get the win there. So that was needed to get that. I don't know how much mana he was out there. I possibly could have ended it earlier with Ryu, but I wanted to take a more guaranteed approach. I don't like playing a game of what ifs in Teppen. I like taking guaranteed approaches. The guaranteed approaches are much more comfortable, and well, they're guaranteed, right? Like, you know, unless they play another card that disrupts it, I know I'm good, you know? So that's pretty much my thinking behind all that.